Howdy WTFers, today we're going to take a look at something that I really need to be eating more of, and I bet many of you need to be eating more of too, and that is fish. Today's sponsor is Titulia, and you can learn more about Titulia online at titulia.com. Titulia is a tea manufacturer, and they have a pretty interesting claim to fame. They are the first USDA certified all-organic tea farm in Bangladesh. They make a bunch of different types of tea. This is their neem nectar tea. They have a bunch of different flavors, everything from black teas to green teas to herbal infusions, things like mint and lemongrass. And they're all wildly delicious, they're great to drink, and they're also really fun to cook with, which is what we are going to do with it today. There's a discount for all of you WTFers. If you go to titulia.com and use the code Daniel Delaney, you're going to get 10% off of your purchase, which is a pretty good deal. I suggest you get on over to their site ASAP, get your hands on some of their tea, and start cooking with it and drinking with it immediately. Check them out online at titulia.com. Like I said, I need to make a more conscious effort to eat fish. It's always barbecue around here, so I need to eat more fish. And I bet a lot of you are like this. The problem is that I really just don't know that much about fish. I think I maybe know 1 or 2 or 3 types of fish, at least those are the ones that I've ever cooked with. So going out and exploring a new fish is kind of uncharted territory for me. And so I went to my local fishmonger and I picked up a fish that I've never had or tried to cook before. The fish that I picked is called Pollock. Now, pollock is basically a white fish, and it's similar in flavor to something like haddock or cod, but unlike haddock and cod, it is not over-farmed, and it's not an endangered species. There is a lot of pollock available, so it is a good fish to be eating. Texture-wise, it is not as flaky as something like flounder, and it's certainly not as steaky as something like tuna. I would say that a lot of you have had cooked salmon, and the flavor of pollock is nothing like salmon, but the texture is kind of similar. The fish are pretty big. In the wild, they grow to about 3.5 feet, and the wild for them are cold, salt waters, mostly oceans. Now, you can buy pollock fresh at most of your fishmongers and grocery stores. You can also get it frozen, and if you've never bought it before, chances are you actually have bought it before, but you didn't realize. What? It is true, pollock is the #1 fish to be used in fish foods that are sort of frozen and prepared and sold to mass market. It's the #1 fish to be used in things like fish sticks that you might get frozen in your grocer's freezer aisle, and it is the main ingredient in the classic fish sandwich, McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. Now, while the weather is still warm and you still want to go out and have fun, I thought we would cook up the fish in a lighter preparation. No heaviness, no butter. Instead, we're actually going to smoke the fish with tea. We're going to use the lemongrass tea that Titulia makes, and we're going to make a gastrique. A gastrique is sort of a sauce that is a part sugar and part acid. They balance each other out really well. So we're going to do a sauce that is made primarily out of citrus with a little bit of sugar, and we're going to put the smoked fish right on top. First, we have to marinate the fish. Put the fish in a Ziploc bag with a small piece of sliced up ginger, about 1/4 cup of mirin, 1/4 cup of some sugar, a few tablespoons of salt, and about 1/2 cup of water. Remove the air and put it in your refrigerator for about 3 hours. Meanwhile, we will make the gastrique. Juice an orange and a grapefruit, and add that to a pan with about 1 tablespoon of mirin, 1/4 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and let that start to reduce. Now add about 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Let this cook down at a low simmer until it is a syrup. While that's reducing, you can smoke your fish. We're going to use a wok to smoke the fish. Start off with a wok lined with aluminum foil, then add a cup of tea, a cup of rice, and a cup of sugar. Stir it together and turn on the heat. Once it starts to smoke, you'll put your fish that's been placed on a grate lined with aluminum foil inside of the smoker. You don't want it to touch the smoldering rice and tea. Cover it with a lid and smoke it for about 10 minutes, then turn off the heat and let it smoke for another 10 minutes. And now you're ready to plate. Put a spoon of your Gastrique on a nice white plate and use the back of your spoon to swipe across the plate, making a nice schmear. Then take your fish and delicately place it against the Gastrique. Garnish with a little mint and cilantro and enjoy. So that's how to smoke pollock with lemongrass and serve it over a citrus Gastrique. Tune in regularly for new episodes of What's This Food? Check out our sponsor, ttulia.com, and use your code Daniel Delaney for 10% off your purchase. And be sure to leave comments. Let me know what you think of the show. And if you have something you want me to cover, you can post it in the comments below. I will see you very soon.